How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the LAIR. And today we're back in Historic Best of 1. I call this one Dreadhorde Ozolith. But before we get into it, I just want to say if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and helps us out so much. Feel free to drop me a comment, talk about strategy, deck ideas, misplays. I read the comments daily. And if you have any friends or family that are into Magic, please share the channel with them. One last thing I'd like to say, if you are going to be a new follower or subscriber on either my Twitch or YouTube channels, once you've done so, just reach out to me in the chat or the comments, say something like, hey, I just subscribed or followed, and I can respond to you with an in-game code that you can use in Arena to unlock a mystery gift from Wizards. So very excited to be able to offer that to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. So let's hop into this. So this is the Mardu color scheme, red, white, and black. Onto the 1-drops, we have the full play set of Knight of the Ebon Legion. He's a 1/2. We can activate his ability, and he gets +3/+3 and gains Death Touch until the end of turn. And then at the beginning of your end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, that means you or them, put a +1/+1 counter on Knight of the Ebon Legion. We're running the full play set of the Ozolith, legendary artifact that says whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if the Ozolith has counters on it, you may move all counters from the Ozolith onto target creature. Sorry, let me turn my fan down real quick. Sorry about that. Alright, where were we? Onto the 2-drops, we have the full play set of Luminarch Aspirant. She's a 1/1, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on creature you control. Running the full play set of Dreadhorde Butcher. He's a 1/1 with haste, and whenever Dreadhorde Butcher deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, put a 1/1 counter on Dreadhorde Butcher. And when Dreadhorde Butcher dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Onto the 3-drops, we have the full play set of Skyclave Apparition. She's a 2/2, and when she enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. And then when she leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token where X is the converted mana cost of the exiled card. And we're finally running the full play set of Crystalline Giant. He's a 3/3, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose a kind of counter at random that Crystalline Giant doesn't have on it from among Flying, First Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, Vigilance, and a +1/+1 counter, and put a counter of that kind on Crystalline Giant. Onto the 4-drops, we're running 3 copies of Ajani, the Adversary of Tyrants. He comes in at 4 loyalty, and his +1 says, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. His -2 is return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then his ultimate, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, create 3 1/1 white cat creature tokens with lifelink. Running 3 copies of Rankle, Master of Pranks. He's a 3/3 with flying and haste, and whenever Rankle, Master of Pranks, deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. Each player discards a card, each player loses 1 life and draws a card, and each player sacrifices a creature. So we have 3 copies of Ogre Battledriver. He's a 3/3, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste until the end of turn. Running 3 copies of Rekindling Phoenix. He's a 4/3 with flying, and when he dies, create a 0/1 red elemental creature token with, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice this creature and return target card named Rekindling Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste until the end of turn. So before we talk about the synergies and everything in the deck, let's talk about the mana. We have the full play set of Brightclimb or Brightclimb Pathway, the full play set of Godless Shrine, the full play set of Blood Crypt, the full play set of Needleverge or Needleverge Pathway, or Needleverge Pathway, sorry. The full play set of Sacred Foundry, and the full play set of Savai Triome. So this deck has a lot of interesting synergies, but it is an aggressive deck. What we're looking to do is put down an Ozolith and then just get a lot of value off recurring these counters onto hasty creatures like Dreadhorde Butchers, Rankles, and then of course once we have Ogre Battledriver, all of our creatures have haste, including our Rekindling Phoenixes, which they have to get either exile or get rid of in the graveyard, so they're pretty annoying. Ajani can help us recur a third of our deck. All of our small creatures, like recurring a Dreadhorde Butcher when the opponent's already so low and you have multiple creatures on the battlefield, can be devastating. Also, his ability to put counters on creatures synergizes with the Ozolith. And then, of course, if you can get his ultimate off, it's pretty retarded. Then we have Rankle to take advantage of all those bodies that we don't really care if we sacrifice a Dreadhorde Butcher. Sometimes we need to in order to kill something or whatever. But like I said, just synergizing well, being able to draw us cards if we need to, being able to get rid of extra creatures if we need to. He's also a haster, so he can utilize any counters that are on the Ozolith. Crystalline Giant is such a wonky card in this deck because it can just get so out of control, especially if you have a Luminarch and a Mechagodzilla. You just keep pumping counters on him and making him crazier and crazier of a threat. And then if he dies, you know, all those counters go on Ozolith, and it's just a reoccurring cycle. Skyclave is our spot removal, if you will, of choice in the deck, because we're mainly an aggro deck, so we're focused on that. But this is our defensive spell, if you will. And Ogre Battledriver is just nuts, like I said, especially if you have out like already a Rekindling Phoenix or a Rankle. You can just keep recurring them over and over and over. The Rekindling Phoenixes with the Rankles, and they come in with haste and +2, +0. It's just nutty. Also, if you can get Ajani's Adversary Tyrants ultimate off and you have a Battledriver, things get pretty interesting. And once again, that synergizes more bodies for Rankle to sack. Yeah, so that's pretty much the deck. We have a 2.7 converted mana cost, running 29 creatures and 24 lands. And we have a nice balance with our Mardu color scheme. So let's hop into some games. Let's see how we do. Thank you guys so much for watching. And running. Alright, so we have a Savai, turn 1, turn 2, we can play all of our 2-drops. Seems good. I think honestly here, Mountain, huh? Either way, we want to keep the Luminarchs alive, so let's start off with a Knight so we can get some removal out of his hand. We don't want to shock in, we don't lose any extra life either, so I think this is the safest play that we can possibly make right now. Okay. There's the removal, the end step. Interesting. Ozolith is going to be amazing here. Absolutely amazing. You can kill all of our shit, and we're just going to keep putting the counters on the Ozolith. Cavalcade of Calamity. Excellent. Let's start off with her. Get a counter. And now we'll utilize with Ozolith. Unless opponent's main decking, you know, Embereth's Shield Breaker or some type of artifact removal. Nice. We can actually wipe him out with. Make this black with a Dreadhorde, right? just attack with him. Okay, so he blocks. We will take him out. Counters go into Ozolith. These two are going to be devastating later on. Corbin. Okay, so he's running Cavalcade, but with a bunch of big creatures. Okay. No blocks. Okay, Savai. Let's get out NECA. Put a counter on him. Put a counter on him. Put another counter. Okay, so now we'll attack. And now we're going to start sucking up additional counters like Reach as well. Okay. I will kill it now. It's fine. So let's Rankle here. We'll put all of the counters on Rankle. Yep, attack in. And each player sacrifices a creature. And that's it. We'll sack the Luminarch since we have another one in hand. Counters go on the Ozolith. And then we can slam an Ajani's and bring back probably the Dreadhorde. Chandra's Spitfire, sure. Okay. Let's do this.
No friend of mine fights alone. I will lend you my strength.
Let's see if he can do let's see if he can do 12 damage in one turn. Great bombardment. Okay. It's not gonna do it. Pretty cool deck though. Using escape velocity with some random creatures that generate tokens to fuel Cavalcade and raid bombardment. Pretty cool. Let's play Luminarch. I mean, he's dead, right?
Strength is born of struggle.
Oh no, he doesn't have trample. Shit. Cavalcade. Okay. Can he do 12 damage in one turn? Cool. Ogre Battledriver. Got him. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Whew. Keep it going. Papa Joe. Rakdos. Alright. So we got a 2-lander here. We could do turn 1 Knight of the Ebon Legion, turn 2 Dreadhorde Butcher. Seems decent. Now we're able to cast our Skyclave as well. Okay, so maybe some type of Dimir Amass deck. 82 life. No attacks. I think we Skyclave the Lord for sure. Just need one more land to start going off. This Ajani is going to be nasty too. Feel pretty good about this. Dreadhorde. Red. What's the move here? I think we have to take the Dreadhorde evasion, I don't know. Probably defensive here. I feel like if he had removal, he would have used it. Falls into another Dreadhorde, that sucks. Okay, let's play Savai. Let's get these counters going.
Our kinship ensures you are capable of more than you assume.
Now he also has to worry about my Ajani's. Okay, he goes into a Murderous Rider, sure. So let's Rankle here. Attack Rankle, of course. 3 damage. I need a creature to sacrifice, so we'll just go with Rankle. So each player discards a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. Discard a card. Yep. Sacrifice, Dreadhorde. And he quits. Alright, I don't know what that last card was, but I just think he had lands, honestly. I don't know what else he could have been holding up. If he had a creature, he would have played it. If he had removal, he would have played it. I like it. Let's keep it going. Oh. Hit the wrong button. Alright, so this is an interesting hand. We have a 3-lander here, which is amazing, an Ozolith early on, turn 1, turn 2 Dreadhorde Butcher, and yeah, hopefully ramp into a Rankle. Seems amazing. So let's have this enter as a red source, and we will play out the Ozolith. Turn 2 Dreadhorde. Beautiful. Pay 2 life here, play out the Dreadhorde, start going in, some counters going. That'd be devastating with the Rankle coming in with haste. Ugh, love it. Love it. Fucking Mecha Godzilla, I love it. So we'll shock in here again. We'll hold up the Mecha, because that will be nice to stack some counters on as well. Rhineborn, I love it. Oh my god, is this thing a flash? Smack the face. We'll play out Mecha. So now he's got to deal with that. And a Rankle. Love it. Love it. Alright, so we know we're going to start getting counters here. That's fine. He doesn't have enough for a Frilled Mystic. Sure. We're going to get them counters anyways. So he's tapped out again. I don't mind this at all. Thank you. Beautiful. So now that onto the Rankle will be just disgusting. Another Dreadhorde here. Love the aggression. This is the perfect deck to test because obviously Simic Flash is so annoying and usually has answers to everything, but with a lower curve, that's fine. Some good cards there. But he's still got to deal with this 4-body. Oh. Now that'll fly over any of his creatures. Love it. If he frilled Mystics, he's tapped out again. Sure. Got him. That was beautiful. That was... Speeding Simic Flash, I love it. Let's hop into another one. Let's keep it going. Okay, so this is a little interesting. We have a 4-lander here. I have a Ozolith turn 1, but nothing in between. I feel like I'd like to have a little bit more of an aggressive start. This seems a little bit better. I think our best bet is trying to go for the Dreadhorde, and we'll drop... They're all very tricky. I guess we'll draw the the Skyclave. That's a tough one. So we'll definitely keep this. Or that's one of these guys, right? Let's drop Rankle for now. That was a tough one, really. It was a really tough one. So this has to be red. Okay, so I have to get rid of this immediately. So you can see a stomp here. Paradise Druid, nice. The Knight is a welcome addition. See if he blocks here. Sure. Let's just go face with that. Got a 42% chance to draw a land, so that's nice. Rushfire Elemental. Sure. Tapped out though. We paid 2 life here. Let's wait on him. Let's do this. Now they have to prioritize taking out the Luminarch. And then when they play something, Lotus Cobra. Okay, so they're just ramping landfall. So what is this? 2 more landfall. Okay, 3. Neoform. Here we go. Prison Reef. Nice. Ozolith is what we want to see here. Play defensively now. Okay. This is a problem. I have no way of dealing with that. Ouch. I have to block. The Ozolith will take those counters. There's a land. Or tapped. I guess we slam the mecha. Just hold up the defense. over. Sick. This is not the first time I've encountered this Zendikaar's Royal deck. Awesome. So we'd have to block, of course. But now he's got plenty of bodies, so I can go in next turn with a Shia. Alright, so what was that? 3 wins, 1 loss? Not bad, not bad. Yeah, we just couldn't curve out right that time. That was a risky keep with the 2-lander here. Alright, let's play another one. Such a fun deck. To be able to go off on it is so satisfying. Omir Lopez. Alright, so we got a 3-lander here. Beautiful. Savai Triome. Is the move, though, turn 1 Knight? I think that is. Let's get something out there, right? Then at least next turn we can Ozolith. Savai into a Dreadhorde. Feel pretty good about this. Tap land is what we want to see. I love. I think we have to play the Dreadhorde here. Rogerin, though, screams control to me. Could be Cycling and a Flash. Scry 2, then draw a card. This could be deadly. So I think we want to prioritize getting the Ozolith out. So we'll miss out on the pump, but I think it's better probably to get the Ozolith. Oh. So. So tempting. So let's Luminarch. And let's Ozolith. This. But we get a counter on the knight anyways. Beautiful. And then slam all those counters on Rekindling Phoenix over and over and over and over. I like it. Does suck that we have to play the Savai tap, but I think this was worth it. So the Butcher survives. Nasty. Nasty. Yeah, don't mind if I do. So they have to bounce the Butcher, because if they kill him, then he does 6 to the face. And we still get those counters. It's so disgusting. Enchant creature. So enchantment and loses all other types. That's interesting. Alright, well, let's play this Rekindling Phoenix, see how they like that. If Deafening Clarion is their board wipe, we could be okay here because he'd have to double cast it to be able to get rid of the Rekindling Phoenix. I've never seen anybody play this. Pretty cool though. Come on, guy. Alright, there's a land. And another one with the stars, sure. Let's do this. Ajani. Let's bring back a knight.
There's more work to do.
I think we want to prioritize saving the Rekindling, and now he has 2 targets to go after. Storm Draft. Fair enough. Ogle. Ogle. I keep saying Ogle. Ogre Battledriver is the next one. I was definitely not expecting this one with the stars stuff. That's it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. He's going through a lot of wipes though. Okay. Scry 2 is always bad for control decks. Surely if he had removal he would have used it, right? And this doesn't even have an instant speed. Doesn't seem to have any instant speed removal, which is good. Because, oh yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. Very impressed with the way that the deck handled. I think it's perfectly tuned for best of 1. Got a little bit of everything in there. The only thing I could see maybe, I was going to say mono red, but we have big enough threats to where, you know, even if they zap every single one of the creatures we play, we can build a pretty big board against them. So maybe not even mono red, maybe just burning to the face. I don't know, but the deck felt pretty good throughout the matches. I'll leave you guys at that. Once again, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and helps us out so much. Feel free to drop me a comment, talk about strategy, deck ideas, misplays. I read the comments daily. And if you have any friends or family that are into Magic, please share the channel with them. Also, don't forget, if you are going to be a new follower or subscriber on my Twitch or YouTube channels, once you've done so, just reach out to me in the chat or the comments and say something like, hey, I just subscribed or followed, and I can respond to you with an in-game code that you can use in Arena to unlock a mystery gift from Wizards. So very excited to be able to offer that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.